Hi everybody, this is Christina, the AmputeeOT. In this video, I want to talk about a product that I've found that is being sold in stores that I believe is really unethical. In my opinion, it is absolutely unethical to sell this product at Walgreens. And here's why. This product, AsthmaCare, is marketed for, as it says on the box, for temporary relief of minor asthma symptoms. And it lists some of the symptoms, such as shortness of breath, wheezing, and tightness in the chest. It also says on it that it's natural, safe, and smart, has no known side effects. If you look in really tiny letters, you'll see that it also says, not a rescue inhaler. So the problem I have with this product is this. If, for some reason, you are having symptoms of asthma, and you can't get a prescription for an albuterol inhaler, which is a regular rescue inhaler, you might be tempted to, in your state of mild hypoxia, to travel down the aisles of Walgreens looking for an over-the-counter remedy that you don't need a prescription for. And what is very likely to happen is that you'll come across this product. The problem I have with this product is that it's homeopathic and it's meant to treat asthma. And that is a problem because homeopathy has not been scientifically proven in any way to help people with asthma or any illness for that matter. There's absolutely no credible scientific evidence that homeopathy is effective for anything, much less something as serious as asthma. In fact, if you read on the side of the box, it says, this product has not been clinically tested. That means that nobody has tested this product to see if it works. Now, that might not be a huge deal if you have a cold or some other self-limiting condition that's just going to go away on its own, but that is a big deal if you have asthma. Asthma is a problem that could lead to, if not treated properly with the proper medication, a hypoxic brain injury, a death, or very serious consequences. And this is exactly what is meant by an ineffective treatment. This has not been clinically tested. There's no way it could possibly work because it's homeopathic, and this is a misleading product. Not only is it a misleading product, but it's a misleading product that could cause somebody to die because they're not getting the proper treatment that they need. And it does say on the back, do not use as an inhaler. It also says, and I quote, asthma can be life-threatening. If you've ever been hospitalized for asthma, consult a physician before using this product. This product is intended to complement, not replace, standard medical treatment. So that's great, that's written on the back of the box, but the problem is that if you are having an asthma attack, or your child, or your family member is having an asthma attack, and they are unable to get an albuterol inhaler, maybe they're poor and they can't afford an albuterol inhaler, maybe they are poor and can't go to the doctor, who knows, for whatever reason, and they go down the aisles of Walgreens and they find this, which by the way is $22, they're likely not to read the fine print. And they're going to buy this and they're going to take it home for themselves or for their loved one without realizing that this is not meant to really treat asthma symptoms. And not only that, but again, it's homeopathic, it doesn't work. Homeopathy supposedly works by serial dilution. So you take a substance that causes the problem that you're trying to cure, you add it to water, you shake the water very vigorously, and then you dilute it until it's so dilute that there's very little likely chance that there are any molecules of the original substance remaining in the water. And supposedly the water remembers the molecules that were in there that are now not in there, and when you then put the water on little pills or ingest the water directly, or in this case spray it down your throat, it's supposed to cause your body to heal itself naturally. If you're thinking this really doesn't make any sense, you are right. It doesn't make any sense, it's completely pseudoscientific, and there's no scientific evidence that it works at all. Most people who go to Walgreens to buy over-the-counter medicine, in fact most people in general, probably like 99.9% of people, they don't really know how homeopathy is supposed to work. They don't really know about homeopathy and what it's supposedly supposed to do or not supposed to do, and they don't know that there's absolutely no credible scientific evidence that homeopathy works to cure any illnesses. Okay, so this is Christopher. He has mild asthma, and he actually went to Walgreens and purchased this product accidentally. So can you tell me what happened?
Yeah. So I have mild asthma. At the time, I couldn't get a prescription for, say, science-based effective medicine like an albuterol inhaler. So I went to the pharmacist and I said, "Hi, I can't get a prescription. Is there anything you have that I can get over the counter that might relieve my asthma?" And he pointed me to this.
Wait. So you went to the pharmacy and the pharmacist said, "I'm sorry, I can't give you a prescription for this science-based medicine, but you can get this instead?"
Yes. And this was basically the only asthma relief that they had available over the counter without a prescription. And the pharmacist directed me to this. Even worse, I got out to my car and I started to open it, and the box was opened before I saw that it was homeopathic. And once this box is opened, it can't be returned. This bottle of water is about $22. I'm a person who is familiar with homeopathy. I've been educated, I have an amateur knowledge of the science and scientific method behind homeopathy, and I know it doesn't work. Because I was suffering from mild asthma at the time, I didn't even read the warnings on this package saying, not a rescue inhaler. This is not a replacement for other drugs that might be prescribed by a physician. These warnings are in very small print, or on the back, or on the bottom, compared to "for temporary relief of minor asthma symptoms," printed directly at front and center. If somebody who didn't know that homeopathic products don't work got this to try and relieve symptoms of asthma of themselves or a loved one, there are serious health consequences to not treating asthma at all. If you absolutely don't have access to an effective science-based asthma treatment like albuterol, you have no choice but to go to an emergency room. There are serious health consequences for not treating asthma. That's exactly what this is. It is not treating your asthma at all.
So basically, the way homeopathy works is by serial dilution. So if you read the fine print on the back of this, it reads HPS, which stands for the Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of the, I cannot pronounce that word. It's a homeopathic organization. They make up words just in the same way that they make up evidence, right? Okay. If you look at the back of this box, you'll see that it reads HPS active ingredients, equal volumes of each ingredient in 10x, 30x, and LM1 potencies. That might sound like this has a 10 times potency of all of these ingredients, but potency in homeopathy actually means dilution. So what that means is, for example, a 10x potency, they took the original substance already mixed with water, and then they diluted it with another part of water, with 9 parts water and 1 part the substance, shook it up very vigorously, and then diluted that. And then they did that 10 times. So they've got that, and then they've also got 30x potencies, which means that they diluted it 30 times, and then LM1 potencies, which is a 1 to 50,000 dilution. Did you know that an equivalent of an 8x dilution is the allowable concentration of arsenic, a poison, in your drinking water? People are not getting arsenic poisoning from their drinking water in the United States. You can drink all the water you want and you will never get arsenic poisoning. You'll actually get water poisoning before you get arsenic poisoning. The lowest concentration of any of the substances that are supposedly in here is 10x. That's even less. And 30x is way even less. In fact, at 24x, you're not even likely to have one molecule of the substance remaining in the end dilution. So basically what that means is that this is nothing but water. And it's being masqueraded as a treatment for asthma. Gluten-free, yay! Also, some other interesting things in the box. It says it's a taste-free oral spray. Well, it's probably taste-free because it's just water. It says that there's no known side effects and no known negative drug interactions. Well, there's probably no known side effects and no known negative drug interactions because it doesn't do anything. And in fact, if you read the fine print on the side of the box, it says, this product has not been clinically tested. So nobody has even tested this product to see if it works. By the way, if you'd like some proof that homeopathy does not work, I will include some links in my description box below so that you can see the mountain of evidence that is contained therein, showing that homeopathy is ineffective at treating anything. So basically, this box is giving people conflicting information. And if they don't read the fine print very carefully, which people are maybe a little less likely to do when themselves or their family member are having an asthma attack and this has just been pointed to them by a pharmacist as an over-the-counter remedy to replace an albuterol inhaler, in my opinion, that's really just wrong. And I am urging Walgreens to stop carrying this product. If you really care about your patients and you really care about people and your business is built upon the whole idea of helping people get better and helping people not be sick, this is potentially going to cause people to not get the proper treatment that they need. At the very least, it's a waste of $22. Okay, everybody, that's all for now. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. You can subscribe if you like. You can follow me on Facebook. That's facebook.com/AmputeeOT. Walgreens, stop selling this, please. Thanks and bye.